on how women are doing better in workspaces in Japan than the men are. Women get into a CEO job and they're thinking like web thinkers. They're more empathetic. They want everybody to be happy. They get better results from their employees. They're able to connect with everyone because they've been raised to be connective. So women are actually taking away some of the jobs from other people. There was a stat released here 2 weeks ago that the disparity now between men and women as far as income is only $43 a week. Men right now in April 2024 in America on average only make $43 more a week than women. So that's, we're kind of getting rid of that income disparity. But it's overwhelming for young women to look out there and think, either I can become a trad wife and have a sugar daddy take care of me, I can have the husband and raise the babies. What? Yeah, women are taking over the job market. Where do I work? Michelle. I have a job as a sales rep for a windshield company that I started 24 years ago, actually 30 years ago, that my ex-husband fired me from, but now I'm a sales rep for the company that I founded. I also flip furniture, so I have a little LLC of my own for furniture refinishing. And I have an essential oils company that I make some money for every month, and I'm slightly monetized on TikTok. I'm modestly monetized on TikTok. Our children should have multi-generational experiences with a variety of different humans, and keeping them at home with mom all the time is actually very unnatural. That's not how humans thrive. To replicate that tribal system, children should be a little bit in daycare and a little bit with grandma, and maybe they go to work with dad one day a week, and maybe they have like with my kids when I was raising kids, I had sisters that I would baby swap with. So they went to Aunt Michelle's house one day, they went to Aunt Lisa's house the next day, just so that I could stay home and clean and do stuff while my kids were off doing something else. What we should be doing is replicating our tribal system, because that is the ideal environment for humans. Humans thrive in tribes. Our Christian, conservative, ultra-Republican-based, biblical trad wife trap is very unhealthy for children. Staying at home with a mom while she bakes her sourdough bread, that's not how humans are supposed to be. Less kids will naturally reset us to a better place. Yep, it's time for less kids for sure. As forced to be a parent, I love my kids, but realize that my trauma has impacted them. I am so sorry. I think that so many of us, either we were forced to be a parent or we had those surprise pregnancies. Like my first baby was a surprise. I was on birth control. He was a surprise. And some of us are just forced into parenthood culturally. Like that's just the social mores that we're raised in, and everybody's doing it, so why not us? You don't know until you try it. Twins, yay! It's gross when people who want kids try to force having kids on others. Yeah, and that's the thing, like we should be able to make our own choices, and there shouldn't be that pressure that here's one lifestyle that fits all. But that's just kind of a result of like our American nuclear family, and also 200 years of living in a country that's very Christian. We really don't have the diversity of choices that other countries do. And we certainly don't have the diversity of choices that smaller tribal societies do, because all we see is like the husband and the wife and the kids living in the house with the picket fence in little suburbs, and it's all just very kind of like cookie cutter. In more tribal societies where we have intergenerational connection as a society, you might be the husband and wife that have the kids, or maybe just, lovers that have the baby. But then there's also room in that tribe for like the wise old grandma who was done raising her kids years ago. There might be room in the tribe for the eccentric medicine man who never wanted children, who didn't have a partner, who his whole entire job is just like coming up with the cures for everything. In tribalism, there is distinctive variety to the roles within the tribe, and everybody just kind of self-expresses and then works communally for the benefit of the tribe. America, we are cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter. I'm going to grow up, get married, have a wedding, wear a white dress, have some babies, live in the suburbs, go to Disneyland, retire, go on a cruise. That's it. We're so white bread. There's no nuts. There's no nothing. Okay, what's Dolphin saying? You can love your kids and hate the expectations and responsibilities of being a mom. Yeah, and Kitty, a lot of those expectations and responsibilities, they are so new. These are modern inventions. Like this whole trad wife thing, this is a modern invention. I love to read historical novels. I'm kind of nerdy in my reading stuff. Like I have so many Audible books right now. They're always like historical. I'm reading like a history of super ancient religions, and it's fascinating how that like children were not valued, and the moms didn't spend the time with kids that we do today. Like your kids were kind of your little worker bees. Like the kids would like stir the porridge, they would mop the floors, they would do all of these other things that contributed to the home, but moms weren't throwing play dates for them. Moms weren't making sure that they had like the most magical slumber parties for their second birthday or whatever. I guess second birthday wouldn't have a slumber party. 7th grade birthday. We did not parent the way 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago that we do today. So our expectations today for parenting they're hard. And a lot of the things that are expected of us are very meaningless. Very meaningless. Yeah, those blue areas are a lot freer than red. Yep. I had a friend who just passed away last year. He died at age almost 101, and he was my neighbor for 3 years. Fabulous man. We kept in touch after I moved away. He had kind of an interesting perspective. His dad had been like 55 years old when he was born, so his dad had actually been alive during the Civil War, which is crazy. Like, he was just such a wealth of knowledge. Like, I've never talked to somebody who had had actual conversations with someone who lived in the Civil War. I'm 50, so he was, his dad was 55 when he was born. When was his dad born? Like 1850 or something like that? He was born in 90. Sorry, I'm trying to do math in my head. Anyway, my friend, his name was Warren, and we were living in Arkansas at the time. My friend Warren would always say that he wished that